This is Jared Louche. Welcome to Ms. Divine's T-Heure, as we say en français. Alors, à tout à l'heure.
Thank you very much, Jared.
Sure.
Good evening. This is Miss Pt1, world's most determined reporter, reporting to Channel 666 Eyewitness News. In today's latest news, years ago I obtained an interview with the band Chemlab, and this is part 1 of that interview. The Chemlab interview is broken up into 3 parts, so be sure to watch all 3 in proper order. And in other news today, well, there's election news, people. So I, Miss Pt1, are going to be reporting to all of you television viewers out there who is going to be running for election. So that's something that's actually going to be happening in these episodes. So you're going to see the interview in one screen, and at times you're going to also get continuous election coverage in another screen. So yeah, you're actually going to be seeing more than one screen. So it's kind of like that show 24. Remember, I, Miss Pt1, auditioned for that show last year, and that whole fiasco with all those producers there, and that whole issue, and all those problems that I had. Remember that episode, people? Remember those idiots over there at that place? Anyway, so since that show, you know, is only about boxes moving around and around like that. And for some reason, people are very impressed with all these boxes moving around and around like that. That's one of the reasons people like that stupid show, because there really isn't anything else going on except boxes. I mean, it's basically a decline of entertainment, and unfortunately, that's what people are like, wow, did that box really move from there to there? Oh, I must watch that show then. So, okay, we should not discuss 24 anymore. But anyway, I, Miss Pt1, have decided to take to use boxes at this program, but in this program it makes sense, because you're actually going to be getting an interview on one side, and then on the other side you're actually going to be getting election news. So in this way, all you television viewers are not going to be left behind, and you know, we're not going to be out of the loop in what's going on in election news. So oh, and of course, you know, with regard to the boxes, there's always people that are boxed in. Maybe people that are boxed in like, you know, to watch many boxes that make no sense to begin with, because they're boxed in. See, they can't really grasp the unusual. So, you know, that's a different case. I mean, I really hope that, you know, people are not, you know, it just doesn't make sense that if, you know, people are boxed in a box, you know, are watching the show, because it just won't. The show is not for people who live in a box, you know, who are boxed in a box. But we'll discuss, you know, box in a box in another episode. That episode will also discuss maggots. So, 2 interesting topics, people. Anyway, so now let's get on with the interview with Chemlab, people, and you'll also be seeing lots of concert footage as well. And of course, once again, this is Miss Pt1, world's most determined reporter, reporting for Channel 666 Eyewitness News, bringing you the latest news in election coverage, people. everybody. Here I am sitting with two burglars. Here I am sitting with the guys from Chemlab, and next to me is Jared Louche.
Indeed.
And next to me is Gabriel from From Minefield. So, hello everybody. I know a lot of you out there might, being that they're looking at Jared instead of Gabriel, which is quite sad sometimes.
Indeed.
Might want to, shake his hand and just tell him how grateful, they are of his music. So I, as representative of the fans, I'm going to shake Jared's hand and,
Why, thank you. That was good. I enjoy that. Was it good for you, too?
Anyway, I'm so disappointed.
You're such a shocker. I'm an old man, but the buzzer would have worked, even better if it had been... Anyway, so,
I would like to shake your hand again, actually, Jared Louche.
Yes, okay.
Yeah!
Okay.
So we cannot begin the interview because we have questions, and many people would like to have answers to these questions.
I like that.
So,
what have you got for questions?
Okay. My question is, being that I finished my introduction, well, here we are in New York, and it's the last day of touring, and how do you guys feel? I mean, how would you say this tour was a fulfilling one? How? What is your take on that?
Definitely, yeah. It's been 10 years since we took the band out, and you have to be a fairly large band to take 10 years off and have any kind of audience at your shows, and so we've been really lucky to have good audience turnout almost every single night. It hasn't been as good as I wanted, but it hasn't been nearly as horrendous as I was afraid it would be, so I would definitely class it as a success.
Okay, what is
How do you feel about it, Big Daddy?
I agree. It's.
What are some of the best times you had on the tour?
I think L.A. stands out in my head right away. L.A. show was the best.
Yeah, that was a great one. That was a great one. And also a shock, because you don't think of L.A. as turning out a crazy crowd response. They're very standoffish and, sanguine about it, which is okay, but it's not what you need when you're putting on a show. And these guys were just off the hook. Off the hook. It was crazy from the word go, which is phenomenal.
What were some of the worst times? In terms of turnout, like...
In terms of turnout, I would say the worst times, it wasn't a turnout thing. It was like the 30-hour drive from Milwaukee to Missoula. That was tough. The turnouts, if people show up, then we're always happy. If it's 6 or 600, it means people are paying to come and see the shows.
Yeah, well, there'll always be fans there, even if it's a few, they're hardcore fans.
Yeah.
How about you? How do you feel about anything right now?
The turnouts one.
What's going on in your brain right now?
My brain right now. I'm very content with how the tour has turned out.
It doesn't have to be related to the question. I said, what's going on in your brain right now?
A piece of pizza.
I am thinking about dinner. I have not eaten yet. There you go.
Okay. See, that was the question. So what was it like, going cross country across the U.S.?
It was like a tour. It was grueling and demanding and too many long drives and not enough sleep. 23 hours a day of requirements and push and drain and 1 hour a day of absolute total rock and roll glory. But, you invest those 23 hours to get the one.
That's true. And that's great. But did you ever get into trouble with any mean truckers?
No, we generally like truckers because we drive like truckers do.
Like us.
Yeah.
Truckers like us a lot. They love to come up and be like, "You guys in a band?"
And then what do you answer?
No, we're on the debate team.
Oh, what do you answer?
Yes, the Rutgers debate team, in fact. Yeah.
What is a terrorist hunting permit? I was actually looking through your tour diary. It's very interesting.
This is Lieutenant Ox Malfoy! Open up the door now! The good thing about America is that we have laws. And if I think that somebody is a terrorist, I can go out and kill them if I want to. I can do whatever I like. Ah! Yeah! Ah!
That's very interesting, you know.
Yeah, well, that's middle America being middle America, uptight, closed-minded, racist, segregationist.
You bought one.
Stages. Why? Oh, because it's so incredibly, harrowingly stupid that I needed to have one. That sort of idiocy it's almost comic. I mean, it isn't, because it's one of the worst things around, and it's the bad side of the dream. I don't know. I get attracted by horrendous things. No. I kept it. I'm not going to stick it on anything.
No,
It's just in my collection of stuff. Yeah. There's another one that I didn't buy that I took photographs of that I'll put up at some point. It's a picture of Uncle Sam going like this, and "Welcome to America. Now speak English." You know, just so incredibly closed-minded. And I don't know, I'm fascinated by that kind of idiocy. It's
an interesting souvenir kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. It's sort of like, 10-point buck heads or something. Not something that is a part of me at all, yet I'm still fascinated by it.
What would you say this tour was better than the tour when you did about 10 years ago with Guar, when you were opening up for Guar? Would you say this tour?
Well, there are certain distinctions between the two. We were touring with Guar because they were drawing an audience of 1,200 people every night. So the audience numbers were much larger. But in terms of actual acceptance, although we converted people every night on that tour, that was a very hard work show. Every single one of those shows was a hard work show because people were taunting us and hated us, and immediately they would
you got booed on stage?
Oh, yeah. They threw stuff at us, and by the end of the show, every time, we always had, a good response. But this, we're playing to a very interested audience, an audience that wants to see us play, or that have come to see USSA or Skeleton Key, and so they're curious about what we're doing, and then we convert them to, whereas the tour with Guar, it was just adversarial with the audience the whole time.
What were they like? They just only wanted to see Guar and not you?
They were
Is
like
that
big
it? They weren't
hunks
interested
of
in
bacon.
the... Oh, my.
Yep.
You mean in proportion, or just...
No, like the sound that they made when they were dancing in the pit during Guar. It was like big, raw bacon and beef slapping together. They were just a bunch of chunk heads. It was horrible.
Oh, that doesn't sound very good. But, it's...
That was very frustrating.
But that was pretty much your last tour for a long time.
That was... Right after that, we did a 3-week tour with Acumen and 16 Volt. And we did some Hellbent shows because we had, Brian Black from Halo Black working with us. So we had him and Eric Powell from 16 Volt. We had me. So we did some Hellbent shows as well. But that was 3 weeks, and it was a total nightmare and convinced me that the band needed to go to sleep for a little while.
So, did you ever think that you were going to awaken the band after a while? At that time?
Not until around 2002. And then I did Oxidizer, and that made a great deal of sense, and then I met Gabriel.
Good evening, folks. I have latest groundbreaking news on who is running for the next presidential election. So, I have an important, there seems to be a candidate, a mysterious candidate that is going to be running for this election. So I'm waiting on this phone call, and that's going to confirm and actually going to tell me who this candidate is. So I just wanted to give all of you a heads up on what's happening on the presidential election. So hold on, folks. I'm going to find out. Oh, there goes the phone. I'm going to have to answer it because I can't talk to you people while the phone is ringing. I'm going to have to find out the information and take it from this phone call. It's going to give me this tip on who's running on the presidential election. Hold on, folks. Hello? Yes. So who is going to be this candidate? Who is the new candidate? Okay, folks, back to the interview. And I'll just give me one moment, and I'll tell all of you who's going to be running, okay? Back to the interview.
So how did you guys meet?
You should tell this one.
Wow. Am I too far over here? I'm sorry. How did that happen?
Christmas, 2000.
You were in town, and you were in Boston visiting family, and you wanted to do a one-off show, I believe. And so he contacted my roommate at the time, who was a promoter in Boston, and he set up a show for Jared to do a spoken word performance, and Jared needed a keyboardist or somebody to make some background noise and effects. So my roommate said, "Hey, I got a job for you if you want it." So I said, "So sure, definitely." And I took the job, didn't even practice or anything ahead of time. No, it was just spur of the moment, spontaneous, improv, keyboard and noise and stuff behind what his performance was. Yeah, I met him basically that day.
That's 2003,
was it? December 2004.
Yeah. And so that went well. And afterwards we discussed working together in the future. And then the next year I came up with this idea. Next time Jared was in town to do a one-off performance, like a tribute to Chemlab, and I'd program all these Chemlab songs and assemble a band for the show, and then we'd have him come in and sing it and do this one-time deal. And it's sort of evolved from that into an actual band.
Once again, this is Miss Poopy Duty. I just found out who's running for the next presidential election. It's Lieutenant Ox Malfoy. He's going to be the next presidential candidate. Can you believe that, people? Can you believe that? I myself, as you have just seen, am very shocked that Lieutenant Ox Malfoy is going to be running for the president. So, for those of you who don't remember who Ox Malfoy is, remember he used to be that bank guard, and then after that huge bank robbery, he became the next army general. So now he's decided to run for president, people. So I'm in a state of shock. I'm clearly at a loss of words, people. So let's, for those of you who are unsure who this Ox Malfoy is, I'll tell you one thing. He is not good news, people. He is not good news. So, take a look, people. And don't be fooled. In fact, there's nothing to be fooled with. He is what he is. But I can't believe he's running for president. So, here you go, people. Ox Malfoy, the next presidential candidate.
Time to watch the news! Yes! There are evildoers of society! We have to hunt them down and kill them! No such thing is happening like that! You have to trust the government and that, man! This is my map of all bands in the possible area! As soon as the robbery has taken place, we're gonna start bombing everything within a 1-mile radius! Then, just to be on the safe side, we're gonna bulldoze everything and everyone left in the streets. And this way at least we will know the bank robber will surely die. That's the price of freedom, baby! Bank robbers are the axes of evil. They're taking away our money and taking away our freedom. They must be killed.
We were originally even thinking about it being called something like Mind Lab or Chemfield, because we were going to do some Minefield songs and some Chemlab songs.
But Physics Lab is out of the question. I mean,
Physics Lab? No, that was the band that I did before Chemlab was Physics Lab. And it was much more like anti-folk acoustic.
Was Biology Lab one of the first ones you did?
Biology Lab was the band
Biology
that he did with our current.
Biology Lab, I failed Biology Lab.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's why he's doing Chemlab now, because he failed Biology Lab.
So what is it like working with Jared? Is he like, how would you define him? Is he more like a
jerk.
dictator? Is he a communist? Is he just a nice guy? Or is he kind of like nasty, but you don't want to say it because you're on camera?
Depends on how he's feeling that day. He can be all of the above.
So it's kind of scary because
I never know with that guy.
Dictator, and that kind of
he's a good guy. You know, he's our fearless leader of this band. You know, we follow him.
All right.
You poor fools.
I know. Driving in circles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the problem with the GPS, not me. My response to that is, I don't know. I'm lucky to work with 5 guys that are driven, that are hungry, that are intelligent, that are flexible, that are capable, and are willing to just fucking deal with whatever the situation is. And they turn out an excellent show every night, regardless of whether or not they've driven 30 hours to get there or not. And it's consistently powerful, and it's consistently capable of overcoming whatever the obstacle is, and we've had quite some obstacles on this tour. It is a tighter lineup, it is a more aggressive lineup, it is a more interesting lineup, and it is a more talented lineup than any of the Chemlab lineups previously. This is the best version of the band yet.
So you're getting along with all of them?
I hate these fucking guys.
You know, so that's a good sign.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I'm just curious, I know you don't like to always talk about it, but, you know, back then, I did hear something you were working as a Wall Street trader. Was it because you were completely broke and didn't have any money for rent?
I wasn't a trader, I was working as an investment banker.
Oh, not a trader. Oh.
But I was in Wall Street, and I worked about 5 blocks from the World Trade Center. And yeah, it was investment banking, selling private placements, IPOs, stock in companies before they trade publicly. 2 years.
Arise, competition! Arise for Big Brother! Big Brother is here! I know! Some of you want to know who is Big Brother? Who is Big Brother? Some of you want to know who is Big Brother? I'm gonna tell ya who Big Brother is. Big Brother is the security you all want.
2 years, and it was just because I was sick and tired of music, and I quit the record label, and we closed down the band, and I stopped managing it.
It wasn't because you were broke?
Not really. I mean,
You mean you went to work even though you had money?
Enough.
Oh,
Well,
broke enough.
I wanted to make a lot more money, which I did.
Oh.
I didn't keep any of it because although I quit everything else, I didn't quit any of my drug habits. So my money, I made lots more money in my habits.
To buy money, to buy drugs?
Well, of course. What else do you go to work for?
Oh, I see.
You know, I mean, it's what money is for, right?
Well, I guess you
The hell with Christmas
snorted it up
presents.
fast.
Yeah, snorted it up. Hell.
I'll let it up, or drank it,
Yeah.
or whatever these new things are.
Love missile F-111. Shoot it up.
Yeah! What you gonna say? Come on! Walk overtime! Are you gonna say yeah? So come on! And if you say no, some of you out there say no to overtime. Yes, sinners! Yes, sinners! Devil gonna get ya! Devil gonna get ya! Devil get me sometimes! Devil get me! Big Brother!
Did you feel dead inside when you were working every single day, getting up early, going to work, coming back late, going to work, coming back late?
No, it was quite a challenge, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, and I rise to challenges like that.
Did you have, were you able to have creative ideas and stuff like that, even though you
No, I was hustling the phone.
Oh.
No, I mean, it was creative in its own right, but I wasn't doing any artwork, I wasn't taking photographs, I wasn't writing, I wasn't making music. So all of that got channeled into the phone.
And some of you are feeling tired. Some of you are feeling tired. I know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard working for Big Brother. It's hard working for Big Brother. And some of you are tired. Some of you got a backache. Some of you are tired. I know. Big Brother knows. Big Brother knows. That's why Big Brother knows. Some of you don't have the time. Some of you don't have the time. Because some of you are working all the time. You don't have time to think. But it's okay. It's okay because Big Brother gonna think for you. Big Brother gonna think for you. Big Brother gonna think for you.
Hustling people to sell stock to them.
You enjoyed that?
I did. It didn't feed me the way this feeds me.
Well, you know, sometimes people eat sometimes people have malnutrition. Maybe it was like a lower
I
form
smoked.
of food.
Yeah, maybe. I smoked a lot of cigarettes and drank a lot of booze and did a lot of drugs, but I enjoyed what I was doing, the work. It just...
Maybe the drugs helped you.
Maybe so. It's not something that I could have made a life out of, but it was interesting for 2 years.
Well, it's only 2, so that's better than... Do you think you guys are ever going to tour Europe?
I would love to, but it's really up to the...
What's stopping you? The communists?
Yeah,
it's up to that goddamn commie. Yeah.
How hard? I mean, is it really? I mean...
Well, we've never toured Europe before. I would very much like to do it, and there are a couple of offers that have been tabled for the springtime, and I'm looking at them. But, I mean, if they're going to offer us, if they're not going to pay for the flights over, then I have to pay for the flights. If we're going to make really absolutely no money, which is what all 3 ones look like at the moment, then that's more money that's coming out of me again, because I have a record label that is only a record label in name and doesn't actually do anything else in terms of support or promotion.
Hello again. What you just saw was part 1 of the interview with Chemlab, so stay tuned in the next couple of weeks to see part 2 and part 3, and visit the website missdivine.net/Chemlab to download the shows in case you have missed it, which you should, but be sure to download them sequentially if you do want to watch it on the web. And after this, we're going to be seeing some more Chemlab concert footage. And in election news, people, I know, Lieutenant of Smalfoot is actually ahead in the polls. You know what that means? That means that the majority of people are in support of Lieutenant of Smalfoot. I know, it's not very good news, but the way you have to handle this is you can't really give a damn about the majority, you know, because who is this majority anyway? And as I've discussed in many episodes, we already know by now that the majority of people are really maggots that just congregate in little, you know, groups like this, and just because they are plentiful does not mean that their opinions are valid, because they don't have the ability to think. So you must remember that. So it's, you know, it's something all of you should bear in mind. And one of the things that Miss Divine and I, Miss Poopy Duty, have in common is that none of us give a damn about maggots. And that's one of the reasons why Miss Divine is on top of the universe, while all the maggots and maggot supporters are at the bottom of the universe, see? So, you know, it's something all of you should bear in mind as to why they're on the bottom. So, once again, this is Miss Poopy Duty, once the top reporter